Oh my God, we've got confetti. This whole situation is absolutely nuts, and that's what I love about it. This trial had everything. Let's hear from Karen.
I just want to say two things. Number one is I could not be standing here without these amazing supporters who have supported me and my team financially and, more importantly, emotionally.
We're with you, Karen.
For years. And the second thing I want to say is no one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than I have and my team. Thank you.
So do you want to see it reopened? Karen, do you want to see the case reopened?
Fantastic.
Sorry, we have to interrupt.
Your Honor, may the record reflect the 12
We're going to go back to
deliberating
court
jurors
and the judge.
present.
Yes.
May I inquire?
Yes.
Mr. Foreman, members of the jury, have you agreed upon a verdict? Yes. Thank you. May I see the papers?
Here we go.
Foreman, have the verdicts been placed in this envelope and have they been in your presence ever since? Yes. Deliberating jurors remain standing.
Fuck is this exciting?
Standing, all other parties may be seated. Your Honor, may the record reflect the...
Let my woman off. She didn't do anything wrong.
May I inquire?
Yes.
Mr. Foreman, have you agreed upon a verdict?
Even if she did kill him, she didn't do anything wrong.
Mr. Foreman, on docket number 2282CR117001, murder in the second degree, what say you? Is the defendant at the bar guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
So say you, Mr. Foreman? So say you? No. Do you agree?
Yes.
Do all of you agree? Yes. Thank you. 002, what say you? Is the defendant at the bar not guilty or guilty?
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Is not guilty or guilty of that charge or any lesser included charge?
It was like not guilty on the murder and manslaughter.
5, operating under the influence of liquor by operating a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or greater. Correct?
Yes.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Guilty.
So say you all? 003, what say you? Is the defendant at the bar leaving the scene after accident resulting in death? Is the defendant not guilty or guilty?
Not
So say you, Mr. Foreman? So say you all?
She ran the table.
As the court records it, you upon your oath say the defendant on 001 is not guilty.
She is not guilty.
2 is guilty of operating under the influence of liquor, and 003 not guilty. Thank you.
Karen Reed is innocent.
Everybody please be seated.
Jurors, we thank you for your service. We're going to send you back. Your service is complete. I'd like to come back and talk to you for a little bit afterwards. So thank you very much.
All rise.
Karen Reed exonerated in court. Did not kill her cop boyfriend. Probably did. The jury has found her not guilty on all counts. This brings to an end one of the craziest cases ever in the U.S. legal system.
In the Karen Reed retrial, not guilty of second-degree murder, not guilty of manslaughter. However, the jury says she is guilty of operating under the influence.
Oh, I thought they said not guilty on that one.
Not guilty of leaving the scene of an accident.
Okay, so she was found guilty of
In writing,
operating
do not want
under the influence. That's the only count they found her guilty of.
not be sealed. You may use the request not to seal form, which is posted on the trial court's website on mass.gov.
They're probably going to lose her license for a year,
Commissioner of Probation at the address provided on
6 months, or whatever it is.
that if the records regarding the charges which you have been found not guilty are sealed, you will be unable to access the sealed record of the not guilty dispositions or any other records regarding those charges. If you want copies of any documents regarding those charges before the record
Karen Reed. Karen Reed.
in 10 days. Do you understand? Thank you.
All right, so we need a date for sentencing. Can we do it next week?
And we would be prepared to go forward today.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, she might
not guilty dispositions.
Possibly have to serve, what,
And we do want
a week or something? Probably community service more than likely.
found not guilty by the jury on second degree, not guilty
All right, so
on
we
that
need a
manslaughter
date for
charge, but they
sentencing.
did
Can we
find
do
her
it
guilty
next
of the
week?
OUI charge. And in that moment, we know you're getting a look outside right now.
Okay.
When this was happening, you could hear inside the courtroom, you can hear the Free Karen Reed chants. So you're getting a look outside at some of the...
You could hear me chanting it.
Did also see while this was being read was a very visibly emotional Karen Reed. You could see her wipe tears from her eyes. You could see her hug her team around her.
What do you guys think? Do you think she killed him?
When that was...
I think she probably killed him.
And again to the judge.
Okay.
We ask that she be treated no differently, no better.
So I'm happy to do it. All right. Thank you all.
1 year probation. 1 year probation on docket number 002, the lesser included offense of operating under the influence. 1 year probation. Thank you. The 24.
Yeah, 1 year probation, probably 20 hours community service.
All right.
Okay, so much was happening there, and the judge saying goodbye there after what has been a very long process. Let's bring in Cheryl Fiandaca.
Years. It took years to get here.
Not guilty for that murder, second degree. Not guilty for manslaughter, but under the subcharge of OUI, she was found guilty. I have never, ever, Cheryl, seen when a verdict is read that you could hear supporters all the way outside of the building.
Oh, it was very, very loud. You could hear them all screaming. You know, they were euphoric. You know, as you heard the judge say, anything that this is a win for the defense, just, you know, being found guilty on the operating under the influence charge, it's the least amount of you know, concern that she had in this case. Penny Commit, who has been following this for us since the very beginning, I think...
I don't know, leaving the scene of the accident probably would have been...
Quickly, because there was so much commotion in the,
less concern.
studio, not in the studio, I'm sorry, but in the courtroom. The
They
sentence
found her not guilty on that.
probation for OUI, so that's the end of the trial. Her license was suspended years ago, but this is 1 year probation for OUI, and that's it.
Oh, they already sentenced her?
Participate in the 24D program, which is a driver alcohol education program.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Standard practice.
And now
I didn't even get community service with it.
Commit, who has been outside with supporters. Penny, we heard you tell us earlier that the crowd was deflated. That's not the case so much anymore.
Guys, the crowd here is very energetic.
So what a wild ride we've been through with this trial.
The crowd is screaming,
Second trial.
chanting, free Karen Reed over and over again. I've seen people brought to tears. I've seen people hugging one another. This was a moment that was a long time coming for hundreds of Karen Reed supporters. Really quick, you were moved to tears, man.
You know how I have the...
Just because Karen could be any one of us, and she's been fighting for so long, and she has all this awesome support, and it was just such an emotional moment. And this is just one...
Chris Dorner Appreciation Society shirt. Perhaps I should update that design and make it the Karen Reed Appreciation Society shirt.
You just stand by because Karen Reed just walked out of the courthouse.
Oh, we might hear from her, yes.
Perhaps, or maybe it's just part of...
She talks.
Looking at a live picture now from the courthouse. Let's just listen in for a few minutes.
I agree, Flo. Not only did she give us another good cop, apparently she exposed hella corruption inside of that police department.
So a couple of people there that we don't necessarily recognize right away.
Because as I said,
fix our camera on.
It absolutely looks like the cops planted evidence, tampered with evidence.
Yes, we want to make sure that we stay there on the courthouse because we do know that at some point here.
And it's possible the cops murdered him. That was one of the defenses that Reed put forward.
Day in and day out. We know
Show the court entrance.
We know supporters have been even moved back at some point, and there were issues.
All right, we don't have a great shot of it, but there it is.
What you're hearing now is just our crew trying to safely position themselves. As you can see here, there are a lot of people. There's a lot of them.
Hopefully, we're going to hear from her
in that crowd
because she liked to talk. She has talked throughout this entire trial. I thought if
Karen Reed
anything was going to hamper her, it was going to be her.
During the
incessant interviews.
Trial, they did come out and speak almost immediately. Cheryl, is there a delay here because she has to go and, take care of some paperwork?
Yeah, she might have to sign some shit.
Normally, because she was sentenced immediately, sometimes they put sentencing off, as the judge said, how about next week? And they said, we can do it right now. And so they just went forward doing the sentencing. Generally, you have to check in with probation before you leave the courthouse. So I'm assuming that that's what she's doing now.
I think it was the choice of approach this
Once again, we're waiting for Karen Reed to come out and speak.
Even though the defense has no burden of proof of anything. The first time around, the defense really tried to prove a theory of the case, to prove what they believed happened. That didn't happen this time.
Karen Reed. Karen Reed. I am going to produce a Karen Reed design for a T-shirt. Karen Reed Appreciation Society.
Defense's case really focused on discrediting any prosecution expert witnesses, discrediting any expert testimony that had been done, discrediting the investigation, and discrediting even the victim's injuries. So I think that really is what kind of
The crowd is reacting. Here we go. Here she is.
Different approach. Here they come.
Here is the hero of the day. Oh my God, we've got confetti. This whole situation is absolutely nuts, and that's what I love about it. This trial had everything. Let's hear from Karen.
I just want to say two things. Number one is I could not be standing here without these amazing supporters who have supported me and my team financially and, more importantly, emotionally.
We're with you, Karen.
For years. And the second thing I want to say is no one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than I have and my team. Thank you.
So do you want to see it reopened? Karen, do you want to see the case reopened?
Fantastic.
Should the case be reopened? No.
That's the cherry on top.
No, I mean, the case...
Nobody's fought harder for justice for James O'Keefe than I have.
Her dad.
She says about the man she almost certainly killed.
Thank you. I want to acknowledge the strength of our daughter Karen, the support of the entire Reed extended family. I want to.
Did I say James O'Keefe and not John O'Keefe?
Of attorneys. Our first one that we found was.
Exactly right, Alien. Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty.
A little. Bob Alessi, you know about. All right. It was a fantastic team, but we needed them all to defeat this. We thank everybody for their support from the heart. We love you all of the content.
We love you.
You help spread the word. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you for sticking it to the cops. I questioned your motives, especially during the second trial. You guys acted indignant. Thought you got overly emotional about stupid stuff. Repeatedly asked for a mistrial. But who am I to judge? You guys are winners today. Cops pushing the crowd back.
Back in the studio, hear me right now?
Leftist audio.
Okay, what a moment. You know, I think the crowd probably couldn't actually hear Karen Reed, like I told you. Those microphones go right into the camera, so you heard her better than the crowd did. But she said something along the lines of, no one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe over the last several years than I have.
That's what she said.
When asked if the investigation should be reopened in this case, meaning, you know, if she alleges that somebody else did it, should police investigate that? Alan Jackson jumped in and said, no, this case is over.
We went over this last night, Prometheus.
Financial and emotional support. Her dad thanked everyone for their support. This crowd is now like slowly making its way over in the direction of Reed's car.
Everyone had the same reaction to
Get
her.
over there, can we? It's a little tough to see here. Sorry, too many cameras over here. As Reed gets into her car, state police escort, just for safety reasons, of course. Her supporters just flocking over there with we've talked about this a little bit, the I love you sign that they give her.
They had an I love you sign. Rewind this stream about 30 minutes.
Kind of gathering.
I don't want to do it again.
If you want to see via Sky Eye, I know we have the chopper up now. The size of this crowd is really indescribable. High Street and Dedham just completely shut down as these people cheer for the woman who was just acquitted of second-degree murder after
damn right they're cheering for her.
Trials and a case for 3 years, 3+ years that has just torn a county, a town, a state, even parts of the country apart. I mean, anywhere you go, people want to talk about this case if you're affiliated with it. And
I'm talking about on my show.
To see the reaction to this outcome here.
You can see Karen Reed's father speaking to reporters as well. And you were right, Christina. As Karen Reed walked out of the courthouse and stood on those steps looking out over hundreds of supporters, she did say that no one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe over the past few years as she has. And with that, she walked into the crowd.
I agree with her.
You sort of looked at me when you saw the confetti raining down as well, because I think every time you see a new twist to this case and something you've never seen before, it's sort of jaw-dropping.
It was jaw-dropping. I mean, you know, she comes out to these throngs of supporters, the confetti being dropped. It's, you know, you think you're at a movie premiere. It's amazing, you know, the interest that this case has got.
It was actually a woman who killed her cop boyfriend.
This case has got, you know, it's had attention throughout the country and also parts of the world. I mean, people are watching this case, wondering what was going to happen, following every detail. It's really captivated a lot of people's attention for a long period of time. And, you know, this is the...
Oh, she's probably incredibly problematic. That doesn't mean that we can't cheer her on in her endeavor.
And the work that the defense team did to get her found not guilty.
Oh, she probably says horribly racist shit.
In line, the response from her
her name is literally Karen.
As soon as she came to the podium, before she said thank you to her legal team or anybody else, she said she wanted to thank her supporters for being there for her.
You had to learn to compartmentalize.
And I think the response we've heard this entire
Carla, welcome in.
Scene falls in line with that.
It is a jubilant scene outside of
first opportunity
this courthouse. I don't think it's in Boston proper. I think it's one of the suburbs.
To her supporters.
And by the way, it may have seemed like a throwaway question.
Karen Reed has been found not guilty
reporters asking
on murder second degree, not guilty on manslaughter.
A reopening of the investigation. I mean, much of their defense was that somebody in that house at 34 Fairview did this. So the question is basically, if you think someone else did this, should police open up a new investigation?
Well, they'd have to investigate themselves because that house is a cop house.
You know, is this the end of the investigation? Could she be...
That house had a party.
So we're not sure about that, but you can
in which cops had attended.
Getting in the car.
She'd gotten in the car before she got back out.
Into that SUV, and as she has done almost every day, rolling down the window. Let's listen and see if we could hear what she was saying. Well, really hard to hear what she said, but of course we did hear her on the steps of the courthouse. So we're done here.
We're done here. I mean,
we're done here.
We're hoping that we would be done and there would be some finality to this case and that we wouldn't be looking at a possible third trial.
I am kind of surprised we didn't get another mistrial.
Not guilty verdicts on all the serious charges, and the only charge she was found guilty of was the operating under the influence.